Good morning, friends. I'm so excited to get started on my first video for YouTube for Body, Soul, Spirit Fitness. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while and I just haven't done it yet, so I decided it was time to get started. So today, just as an introduction, I'm going to share a bit about how I became interested in fitness, how that began, where I am now, and a little bit about my pregnancy journey, which I'm on the 26th week of this week. So pretty excited, and things are really different. So I just wanted to share some of that and maybe a favorite recipe at the end. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm on my 26th week of my pregnancy. This is what I look like right now. I'm also going to post a picture of what I looked like when I was only a week pregnant. At that time I'd made a lot of progress in my fitness, and so I can experience how much that's serving me now and how my body's responding to pregnancy. So it's pretty great. It's also really important when you're trying to be healthy and fit and pregnant to have enough rest. And actually, today's Tuesday, and I'm taking 3 days off of work this week in order to get enough rest. I'm teaching a 5th grade class, and it's really challenging, this particular group, especially socially. And so I decided to take these 3 days off just to focus on myself and my baby and just my life in general, so that when I go back to my students, I am everything that I can be. So this is where I live. This also means I finally get to meet a midwife. I'm planning on having my baby at home. I'm due August 1st, and I'm finally meeting a midwife here in Sacramento for lunch today, and I'm super excited. I've heard a lot about her, and I'm hoping it goes really well so that it can work out. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my fitness journey thus far. It started about 5 years ago, consciously, but I grew up on a small dairy farm in Vermont, and as a teenager, I suddenly decided that I wanted to strive to be strong enough to be able to take care of myself. I no longer wanted my parents to say, "Oh, have your brothers lift that square bale or move that round bale." I wanted to be able to do it myself. I was pretty competitive in that way. And so I got to the point where I could push around a 1,000-pound round bale. I could stack a 150-pound square bale on my own as a 14, 15, 16-year-old. Then I went off to school in California and wasn't doing as much physical labor. So I lost some of my muscle mass, of which I had quite a lot. I'm 5'7" and I weigh quite a lot for my height, and I've always understood that that was actually my muscle mass, especially doing my body fat percentage, which was never super high. It's still not as low as I wanted it to be, but it wasn't very high. And when I was teaching in Minneapolis eventually, I was about 22 years old. I went through a bout of depression, and this turned into eating a whole bunch of crap, which normally I wouldn't eat, especially in that quantity. And I put on about 20 pounds. And I was, eventually this turned into a bit of bulimia, and I was trying to make myself throw up after I ate this horrible food. And it was because it was triggered by being alone. I didn't know a lot of people in Minneapolis. I was just focused on my job. And eventually, I needed another avenue to make myself feel better, because obviously the food thing was not working. And I hated myself for doing that, and I couldn't control it. I was depressed. I mean, many of us know what that's like. So I started running. And I had these boots I bought from Forever 21. Oh my gosh, I spent like $20 on them. They didn't have heels, and I would literally run in those boots, and I ran in them until the bottom of the shoe fell off. I didn't have running shoes, I didn't have running gear, so I just wore a pair of jeans, and I ran in my boots on the icy streets of Minneapolis in February and March of 2010. And that started to shift my eating thing just actually by doing that, because it totally released some of the experiences I was having. So then I left Minneapolis. Right after that, I was part of a performing troupe with some of my friends from school, and we traveled for a month going to different Waldorf schools in California, Arizona, and Oregon performing. And during that time, I was trying to get healthy again. So I was trying to eat a balanced diet. I was taking out the junk. And I had a really hard time because my friends were just eating normal. And I was trying to eat a little different because I had just done horrible damage to myself. And I just like back off. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not starving myself. You can see I'm not starving. I'm eating every meal. I'm just eating less of it. I'm not eating the pancakes, and I'm drinking the fruit juice. Rather than the glass of milk. But you just need to leave me alone because I just went through something you don't understand. I couldn't talk about it so much at that time. I talked about it later with my friends, but so they eventually got used to the fact that I was going through something and I needed to go through that. So that was the beginning of that. But I also started doing sit-ups and push-ups in the morning after I woke up, and I realized this helped me feel more energetic for my day. So this became a regular thing, and I started doing that all the time. And it's such a small scale, but having these beginning experiences, I could already feel a little difference. I went back to the farm to visit, and because I'd been doing those push-ups and sit-ups, I could actually still stack bales. And I was like, wow, a couple of years ago I went home and I could not do this, so I'm going to keep doing something about this. That was when I moved to California again. I'd lived in Hawaii, and in Hawaii I had a gym membership, and I went every day after work. But I don't think I was pushing myself very hard, and my personal trainer was inadequate. So I didn't really see strong results. I was weightlifting, I was doing a lot of cardio, and I didn't experience many changes in my body. I also didn't have my diet down, which makes such a huge difference if you're looking for results, obviously. And so I was strong and sturdy, but I wasn't fit like I wanted to be, like I imagined. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a runny nose this morning. Anyway, so after that, I had like a basis of strength, which I've always had, but I built it up again. And when I moved back to California and I started teaching, that's when I discovered the PumpUp app. And I downloaded it because I saw that it offered workouts and you could build them yourself. And you could just choose what part of the body you wanted to target and what equipment you had or didn't have, and it would create a workout for you. And for me, that was super motivating. So I actually started using it for that. And at that time, I don't experience it being quite as much of a social app. The social community was quite small, and I didn't participate so much in it because I didn't feel it. I had Instagram, where that was really clear, social media platform, and PumpUp wasn't so much that for me at first. And it started to grow after that when I started to notice that. And when I became interested in that aspect of the app, then I changed my username to something that I felt more appropriate to my goals, Body, Soul, Spirit, Fitness. Because I see fitness as not just a physicality thing, but it's also, how's my inner life? Am I healthy on the inside? Am I able to accept myself, be confident, do my work properly? And, you know, can I lift a square bale? Can I carry my groceries? Do I need to have help for all of these things? Do I have to visit the chiropractor all the time because I have a weak back? There are other reasons for that, so no offense intended. I just mean, you know, if you're not maintaining your strength, you have so many more possibilities of having health issues. So after I downloaded the PumpUp app and was doing these workouts at home using the app, I started to experience changes. And at that time, I cleaned up my diet way, way more than I'd ever done. I focused on whole foods. I started really just cutting out any garbage. I mean, I love ice cream and I honestly don't think it's that bad for you, but I started eating it maybe once a month or less. Things like that. Dessert was just not a thing anymore. Whereas before it had been something in my life, and I turned it into not so important. And so then I started taking pictures and I realized I was changing, finally. And this inspired me to know more, so I researched more and I did more and I experimented until I feel like last year I started to really understand the process for myself. And I started to see the effects of what you ate and what you did and how much you pushed yourself and how much rest you had. And I decided that one of my goals now is to become a personal trainer, because I would love to be able to do this with others and to be a professional. So that's my goal for this coming year after I have my baby. If I can afford it, I would like to do fitness training and get certified. But for now, I have my own knowledge and I have done research with professionals. But obviously I want to take it to another level. So that's how I got here, and I'd love to share more. So snippets will probably come in later videos, but that's a beginning anyway. I'm not going to make it right now because I just had breakfast like an hour ago. But I thought I would share one of my favorite pancake recipes. It's really simple, and you can find it actually up on my blog. So if you go to bodysoulspiritfitness.wordpress.com, you get the full recipe. But I'm just going to share with you now, and you can look it up if you don't get all this information down. So these are the ingredients I start with. I have oats, whey protein, a banana, eggs, and actually some coconut milk. Basically, you take half a cup of oats. You could add a little more if you want. Put them in your blender. Add a banana. Add 2 eggs. A scoop of protein powder, and then just a little bit of coconut milk or water if you're not into the fat. Just a little bit to start with. Blend it and add a little bit more liquid as needed. So either your favorite milk or water if you want to take out some of the fat and make them low fat. So you blend that all together and you're going to make just delicious fluffy pancake, which I learned from one of my favorite people on the PumpUp app, Francesca. You put peanut butter in a bowl, just a couple tablespoons, and then you pour some maple syrup on top and mix it together, and it's primo. It's so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me. And if you ever have any questions or comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe, and that will inspire me to keep making more videos, and I will do more in-depth recipes for sure. I also want to document my pregnancy journey, so keep your eyes open for that, especially those of you who are pregnant or moms or whatever. Also, if you are a mom and you have any advice for me in my pregnancy, I'm so happy to hear it. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!